I'm your host, Tyler Rasmussen, and we've partnered up with our friends at Pool Pro Magazine to bring you a monthly news and notes segment on all things pool related. Knowledge is power, and by tuning in each month, you will stay informed on what the public and the industry are talking about. Joining us for these segments is Pool Pro Magazine's editor-in-chief, Megan Kendrick. With over 10 years' experience writing some of the best articles in the industry, we believe she is the perfect person to notify you on what's going on in the pool world that we know and love so much. Without further ado, let's jump into this month's News and Notes episode.
Welcome to your go-to podcast for the pool and spa industry. My name is Tyler Rasmussen.
And my name is Greg Viafania. And this is the Pool Chasers Podcast.
Hi, Megan. How's it going?
It's going good over here, Tyler. I'm finally home after being gone for 22 days between the Atlantic City show and the Western show.
Nice. How was that?
It was a lot. I got home from the last two trips. When I got home, my kids already had fevers and then were sick like the entire week the entire time that I was actually home. So, that was
lovely.
Really fun. I had to actually get off a work call at one point and I was like, I'm sorry, there are gross things happening in my house right now and I have to leave. And he was like, I understand.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
Awesome.
Oh, it was not awesome.
Oh,
the
wow.
things I've cleaned up off of surfaces in my home.
Sounds lovely.
It wasn't.
I've been there too.
But yeah, look,
Not fun.
all parents have. Like you
Yep.
just kind of get over it.
Yep, for sure. How's the Western show?
But the Western show was great. You were missed. A lot of people asking where you were. I had a few people.
I know, I missed that
actually
show.
more than a few people. Yeah, it's a good show. I had a really good time.
I really like
and I had
that
several
one.
people who were like, "You sound familiar."
That's all he said.
Where they knew me from? Yeah,
Where?
it was from Pool Chasers.
Pool Chasers. Very nice.
That's right. Hasse had a dinner and kind of a remembrance for Bob Lowry, and so I attended that. And a couple of the guys that I sat with, one of them knew that I had hired a housekeeping service.
Oh, what?
So I would say they listened very, very well. So shout out to them. They were very fun to hang out with.
Nice.
But yeah, it was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, you are a listener.
yeah, for sure. When you can drop facts like that, you definitely know.
I know. He was like,
attention.
hey, how are your housekeepers? And I was like, what? And then I had to tell him that Aaron made me
Fire
back.
him?
No,
Oh,
he just
bummer.
can't have him every week. He's only letting me have him every other week.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Less half bougie now.
I know, right?
Sweet. Well, we missed a show for sure. I'm definitely going to be there next year, but couldn't really make it happen this year. But that is my favorite show, and I will be back.
It was
I didn't want
definitely
to
the
get
most-
canceled again while I was actually there.
Well, that's true. But
Just
this is definitely.
I knew it wasn't going to.
No. The Western show is definitely like the most fun show.
Yeah.
Also the most exhausting show because the exhibits are at night,
Mhm.
and it kicked my butt like
Yep.
that because for me it was like 9 to 11. That first
Right.
night,
Yeah,
and
it's rough.
normally it wouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. I think it's because it was like, after all of this traveling and all of these shows, my body revolted, but that did not stop me from having some fun, hanging out with some friends. Yeah, it's a really, really fun show.
Yep. Always fun. Cool. Let's jump into it. So, swimming pool news. So, an extremely long stretch limo, dubbed the American Dream, has earned the coveted title of the world's longest car by Guinness World Records, coming in at 100 feet, 1.5 inches long. So, this automobile seats 75 people, has 26 wheels, a large waterbed, a swimming pool complete with a diving board, as well as a hot tub, a bathtub, a mini golf course, and a helipad, according to Guinness Book of World Records.
Do you a stretch limousine? So that means it
Yeah, it's a
bends in the
stretch
middle,
limo.
right? Because I was like, this car can't turn corners.
I don't think it actually turns. He said it can turn, but it turns really wide. I don't know. If you look at the video of it, it's pretty weird.
I need you to
looking,
tell
but-
me what else is 100 feet so that I can picture in my
A
head.
football field. No, right? Or that's 100 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know what 100 feet would be.
I don't either.
How many feet in a yard? 3?
Speaking of adulting.
So that'd be what, 50 yards, I guess? No.
Yeah. So half a football field?
No.
No.
25 yards.
Let's not try
This
to
is
do math
horrible.
on the spot. Let's
Horrible
pretend like I
at
didn't.
10 o'clock at night.
I'll just look at the picture, if that's
Yeah.
okay with you, and that will
Check out the video. Yep, we're not going to do math
yeah.
at 10 o'clock at night. So
Nope.
it's all good. But anyways, it's pretty crazy. It shows a helicopter like land on it. And anyways, you got to check out the videos.
Why would it need a waterbed though?
I don't know. You know why.
What a random,
You gotta answer.
what a random thing. You know
I'm going to answer that real question. Because there's 75 people in this limo.
Okay.
Something's going to happen.
All right, moving along.
All right. At a plush new downtown LA proper hotel, there was a 2,777 square foot suite with its own indoor swimming pool, and it's much bigger than the one on the roof shared by all the guests. The suite is big and unusual enough to use for hosting meetings such as fashion events, but it won't come cheap as the rent is $10,000 a night. The building was originally completed in 1926 and has changed a lot over the years, remaking the 13-story building with design by architect Givening cost more than $50 million as the owners labored to bring panache back to the once glamorous structure. Panache. See, this is too late. It's too late recording now. I knew it was panache. Anyways, so yeah, that hotel is pretty crazy. Yeah, check it out. But $10,000 a night to stay in that room with a swimming pool.
So when you guys decide to start doing your own events, you'll just rent out this and invite, all of your favorite podcasting friends.
That's right.
To just come get some pool education in a suite bigger than my house.
For sure.
Perfect.
Next Western show, we're gonna line this up in LA for everybody to come hang out.
Perfect. And we're gonna get everybody there in the world's longest car.
Yes, in the longest limo. Yep, everybody's gonna get there. All right. In Bradford, which is overseas across the pond, the swim for all seasons at Eccleshill Pool were suspended due to repeat incidents of threatening and antisocial behavior. A gang of young people behaved unacceptably in the pool and were making it impossible to ensure safety of staff and other pool users. Now it's been revealed that the security at the pool will be ramped up in order to allow the sessions to restart, and the staff will now be using body cams, which is typically worn by police. So I'm not sure. This is kind of an odd one. I'm not sure you got people with body cams around pools. Seems a little bit odd.
Where is the swimming pool?
In the UK, I believe. In Bradford.
Oh.
But yeah, they're going to use body cams like police officers apparently to make sure that people behave by the pool. What's your thoughts on that?
I guess whatever it takes. I don't know.
I feel like people get in trouble for having body cams.
I'm afraid to comment on this one because I don't know anything about this area. So I don't know. This is just that's just unfortunate. Unfortunate. But yeah, body cameras at a swimming pool, you're right. That could also go very poorly.
Yep. This next one's sad. We talk about drownings we had before, but I wanted to bring this one up because I think there's still some relevance here that people kind of ignore now or don't tend to understand. But so in Brazil, a 9-year-old girl died after her hair got caught in a swimming pool drain at her grandmother's birthday party. Mariana was swimming in a resort pool when her hair was sucked into the drain. Her family tried to rescue her, but she was not breathing when they pulled her out of the water. Her hair was still stuck to the pool drain. Sorry. I just think, we talk about main drain cover safety a lot and different aspects of the industry, but it still happens. And so I want people to just think about that for a second, because we still need to make sure we're changing these main drains properly, keeping them maintained, because, it sounds like it happens every so often, but it's still, that's still too much. And people just really be aware of the fact that that still can happen. And they've been to Aquastar's facility to see their tests and stuff. Now it's obviously been much more advanced, and that being a different country, maybe it's not as advanced, but either way, just wanted to bring it up because it's still a big thing.
Well, and we I know you had Katie Christdale on the podcast before, and she actually wrote an article for the magazine a couple issues ago talking about how we're not tracking entrapment very well anymore because we don't include near misses. And so there are a lot of these incidents where people are trapped, but since they don't drown, it's not something that gets reported on, even though they've maybe suffered a serious injury. Or, I mean, just the fact that they got stuck on a drain at all is a huge issue. And so a lot of this stuff doesn't get reported, doesn't get, national attention unless it's a real drowning in a disaster like that. And it's like, it's happening more than I think we want to admit as an industry, especially because at this point, there is absolutely no excuse for it to happen again. Like, we have the technology, we have the proper equipment. And so at this point, if this occurs, it is 100% on us as an industry for not doing our jobs, not maintaining the pool properly, or not saying, hey, guess what? This is wrong, and someone's going to get hurt if you do not fix it. And so no excuses. Like, this should never happen again.
All right. Yep. Our thoughts and prayers go to her family, obviously, and hopefully we just want to, like I said, bring light to that, and let's just make sure we do our part as an industry to pay attention to that. All right. Industry news.
You just gave me like the best transition ever. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I should have maybe started with that and ended with the car.
Because you went from a very serious one, and now I have to go to like the super weird story about Drew Brees and Jeb Bush being in the pool industry now.
Yeah, that was not a good transition.
So I'm just gonna plow ahead.
Just roll with it. Let's go.
Yeah, so apparently Drew Brees and Jeb Bush, who the former governor of Florida, if you are unaware of who the Bushes are, and NFL quarterback Drew Brees, who is now retired. So they invest with this investment group that has purchased Essig Pools, which is a pool builder in Florida. And I guess this is part of this investment group's strategy is to buy family-owned businesses, and they're looking for more pool businesses apparently to also purchase and to help them grow. And so I kind of did a little research on this company because when I read this, I was like, this is not, what is this, right?
Yeah, it
like,
seems very
Their board of
odd.
advisors includes like,
oh my word, you got to go through the list because it's insane.
Okay. CEO of Intel, former Undersecretary of State, CEO of DocuSign, Tim Tebow, of course. Why not?
Of course.
Equifax CEO, former CEO of Boeing, former CEO of Popeyes and KFC, board of director at Costco and HP, founder of Ritz-Carlton.
Right?
Okay.
Who is this group?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, this is not, like, what is this? But
Garden City Board, right? Is what they're called?
Yeah.
Garden City?
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
it's Garden City Companies, but it's actually kind of cool. So they're a private equity firm, but instead of, because private equity firms buy companies, improve them, and then flip them, right, and sell them for a profit. But that is not what these guys do. They buy and invest these companies for long-term growth. They keep on the original owners and management teams for as long as they will stay. And really, I think their main goal is just to help small businesses continue to be good small businesses.
Yep. They want to be the most caring and innovative pool builders in the country and want to be the Chick-fil-A of pool industry where all workers feel like heroes. That's a quote.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a very,
interesting.
It's interesting. It's very lofty for sure. But obviously they got a lot of backing from some interesting people. You know, my favorite person on their board of directors?
Who?
Have you ever heard of Lecrae?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. Lecrae is on their board of directors.
Is he? Very nice. That's awesome.
Kind of cool. I haven't read his
Very
new
cool.
book yet, but it's on my list.
Nice.
Anyway.
That's our Christian school background coming out.
100%.
Anyways, next one.
Okay, so Tyler, did you know that in March it is International Women's Day?
Women's Month?
Nope. International Women's Day.
Women's Day. Okay.
Yep, in March.
All right.
So the CEO of Hayward joined more than 2,000 CEOs in an unprecedented commitment to advance diversity and inclusion in the workplace in honor of International Women's Day.
Gotcha. Sweet. That's
Also,
good. Always
yeah.
good to help with that cause.
Also, Cody Pools, they gave $40,000 to the Texas Oncology Foundation. Cody Pools, of course, the quite large pool builder in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is something kind of fun, but Jobber, I don't know if you've heard of them or not, Tyler.
Nope, never.
Right. So they have this program where they have this program where they give out grants to entrepreneurs in the home service sector. And so they are accepting applications for that program. The grants range from $2,500 to $15,000. And actually last year, a pool service company, Pit Stop Pool Service from Cypress, Texas, they were one of the winners. So
very nice.
Yeah. So if you use Jobber and, why not apply? There's no reason not to.
Giving you money for your business.
That's right. And we actually wrote about that company and them winning the grant online. So if you guys want to take a look at that and learn more about it, you sure can.
I remember seeing that. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Tyler, you know what time of year it is?
I do. It's money time.
It is time for the earnings reports. The pool industry is doing pretty good, my friend.
Pretty well, I would say so. These are pretty insane.
Yeah. So I'm going to run through the companies. We're just going to talk net sales and what they're up. And then we'll just talk a little bit about, in general, what people's projections are.
Cool.
So Pool Corp. And by the way, I think pretty much every single one of these was a record. So
yeah, they all say record.
Yeah. Pool Corp record annual net sales of $5.3 billion. Up 35% from 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Hayward record net sales up 60% from last year to $1.4 billion. Which, I guess correct me if I'm wrong, because in the report it said $1,401.8 million. Did they just not want to admit that they made $1 billion?
I guess.
Is that what that means? I don't understand.
Right? That's interesting.
I showed it to my mom because I was like, I told it to my mom and I was like, what is this? She's like, well, that's a mistake. And I'm like, no, it's on an official earnings report all over the internet. And she's like, oh, so then we had to do lots of Googling and we just decided it was 1.4 billion.
There you go.
Anyway.
Nice.
Pentair, their sales were 3.76 billion, which was up 25%. Latham, which the maker of fiberglass and vinyl liner pools, as well as some covers, net sales of $630 million, up 56% year over year. And then Leslie's was a little confusing because its fiscal year ends in October. And so its annual sales, which would have been October 2020 to October 2021, annual sales of $1.3 billion, up 20%. Yeah. And those gains in revenue led to a 116% increase in year over year earnings of $126 million. So yeah, I think we're doing okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, this was insane. So it was like 35% for Pool Corp, 60% for Hayward, 25% for Pentair, 56% for Latham, 116% for Leslie's. So looking ahead to 2022, most of them are anticipating net sales growth to be between 7% and 17%. So you know what? We could have they could have another gangbusters year, but right now everyone is saying, we're going to grow, but it's going to be a lot more normal growth. That'd be the kind of growth that we would expect, not this double and triple and whatever. I don't know what's happening.
Right.
They made a lot of money. All right. They did good.
And you all contributed to every single one of them.
Yes.
So congratulations.
And hopefully some of you are shareholders and you got some dividends too.
Right. All right. Movers and shakers.
I only have one company with some movers and shakers, and that's our friends over at Skimmer. So in addition to Skimmer has been used to perform over 20 million route stops and 90 million chemical dosages and readings, and is being used by 14,000 pool professionals each week. They have added to their engineering team. So they have added 3 people. David Pendon, he is now their VP of engineering. And then they've also added engineers Mark Quinto and Ayrton Williams. So they are adding some people over there at Skimmer.
Yep, growing like crazy. Sweet. And then let's talk about your Pool Pro article that you would like to discuss, which is?
So I wanted to point out our At the Shop article this issue. It is about Ike's family pools. And so Ike's Carter pools. But it's about the Ikevic family. It's super cool because the company was started by a father and a son. They kind of had some run-ins and decided to split, and so they split into 2 companies. And they never were able to reconcile. I don't know about personally, but they weren't able to reconcile and bring the companies back together. Well, so now their son, Eric, he decided to bring everyone back together. So him and the current owner of Ike's Carter Pools, Gary Kaplan, they came together and they made it work. And they took these 2 companies that were very successful. One was a builder and one was a service company. And they have now reunited them into one company again. And this is one of those things where it's like, I think we just got like a touch of the story. I think that what has probably really gone on behind the scenes for this one is probably pretty intense. And I just think that like it is kudos to them for doing the right thing and, you know, being able to kind of work through whatever was going on in personally to make it work for the best thing for the company. So it's just really, really interesting. And hats off to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Where can people get the magazine?
You can pick up the magazine for free at Superior Pool Products and SCP locations. You can hop on our website, poolpromag.com, to order a subscription to come to your home or to read all of our content or see the digital editions. So please go ahead and check that out.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. Always fun.
Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to learn more, you can hit the link in the show notes below or visit poolchasers.com. If you'd like to learn more about Pool Pro Magazine, pick up the latest issue at your local SCP or Superior and visit them at poolpromag.com. See you out there, Pool Chasers.